Yeah. Yeah. I got to get live on the show in a few minutes, so I'll have to hang up on you. Uh-huh. Yeah, the Giants play tonight. No Saquon. Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite things to do on videos in the spirit of Tech Tip Thursday is to pretend to be on a phone call because people like to kind of spy in on what you're saying and kind of eases them into the video a little bit. And then they realize you're not really on a phone call and you're just here to say, wake up, real estate. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Wake Up Real Estate Show today. I think we're without Josh. He might show up a little bit later. He probably sent you an email earlier this morning letting you know that I'd be talking about some fun analytics stuff, just website analytics stuff. One of my favorite tools called Get Clicky, or they might be called Clicky now. I'm just going to show a little bit about that. Go ahead, comment down below if you like the cell phone video trick. I use this in a lot of my videos. The first 5 seconds, pretend to be talking on a phone. It's a nice little pattern interrupt to get people in. Little gimmick, little hack that you can try yourself in some of your videos if you want. Social post of the day. We're going to run through quickly here. Where are we at? Social post of the day. No, that's not what we want. That's what we want. I went ahead and did a post about interest rates and the Fed's rate hike decision yesterday. One of the ideas around posting this stuff, which I do sort of frequently, at least once a week, is that you're kind of signaling your stance on the economy in a little bit. You have a chance to riff a little. You don't have to take a firm stance on whether you think rates are going up or down, but you can interpret the data and say, hey, if you're thinking about buying or investing sometime soon, now could be a good time before rates head higher. And I put a little chart here with a couple of trend lines. And you don't have to do it this way, but just take a screenshot of a chart, interest rates, analytics from your MLS. We talk about this a lot. Post it and talk about what you think it means. I also did a little bit of politicking here. I put a little "End the Fed" hashtag on there. Anytime you do voice a little bit of an opinion, you're going to either repel people or attract them to you. So other people who think that the Fed should be ended might like my post. Whatever. So social post of the day. Do a 30-year, do the mortgage rates screenshot. I grabbed my screenshot from mortgagenewsdaily.com this morning. I just set the chart to be the last 2 months with the line here. Just so you guys do know, the Fed is going to keep interest rates between 5.25% and 5.5. So, but they did, in Jerome Powell's speech yesterday, he did say he's leaving the door open to raise them further. Yeah. So the Facebook user, I'll respond to your comment here. So this morning, the 10-year yield is going up. Rates should go higher. What I did in my post, Facebook user, whoever that is just you can spin that the other way and just say, hey, if rates are headed higher, now might be a good time to do something before they get even higher and it's even more expensive. So you can spin that either way. That's the stance I took. You can also do the same for refinance. If you've been thinking about tapping the equity in your house, you might as well do it now before rates go another point higher. So, hey, Jennifer. Hi. So thanks for the comment. That's just, again, you can spin it either way. And I just spun it that way this morning. I'll spin it a different way tomorrow morning, probably. But the idea here is you just want to talk about real estate every day, whether it's the macroeconomic landscape, specific listings, things going on in your market. Just the consistency is what's important in all this. Thanks, Ernest. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the core kind of subject today. And it is Tech Tip Thursday. And we try to, on Tech Tip Thursday, just have something, a new tool or a tip or something that maybe you can check out. So one product that I'm not sure I've talked about on the show ever, or if I have very shortly, one product that I have subscribed to for over a decade, and there's not too many, but I have continuously paid these guys for a decade. I think I subscribe annually. That product is Clicky.com. Now, Clicky.com, let me bring up the screen here again. Clicky.com is a website analytics platform. So I go to it not logged in here. So think Google Analytics. It's a Google Analytics alternative. That's just a typo on my part. Here we go. And what it does is it allows you to put a script on your website, and then it just tracks what people are doing. Now, Google Analytics does a lot of the stuff this does. This does a lot of the stuff that Google Analytics does. But there's a few things about Clicky that I really like. One, I find it to be easier to use and to just navigate and to see what's going on than Google. Maybe that's just me. Another thing is they have a really good spying tool, meaning that you can watch what visitors are doing on your website in real time. Another thing they can do on their more premium versions that I'm not sure Google can do is they can do heat maps. So you can see where people are clicking on your site. And another cool thing, even though Google Analytics is free, Clicky's not very expensive at all. I think it's, oh, they don't even put their prices. But I think it's, if you do the annual plan, like it could be as little as like $5 or $6, $9 a month. But I really like the intelligence and the data you get, and their goal setting and campaigns and all that stuff is really cool too. So let me jump into a back-end account here and just show you what I'm talking about a little bit more so you can visualize it. Get my screen bigger. And I'll hop into the analytics for, say, our Propertunity Knox site that we use for a lot of our mortgage landing pages. And then I'll show you guys how to install this for those of you who want to do it. So if I come in here, I can kind of see all the pages on my site, what people are visiting the most, just like you would with any other analytics. I can see what's coming from advertising, what's direct. I can see what keywords people are getting to my site from, all in one nice little view here. And this is today only. I can swap over to the last month if I want to. I can see my visitors, the average action per visitor, the bounce rate, and then my goals is a really cool thing that you can do here that you can also do in Google Analytics. But I find setting up goals to be a little more flexible and easy in Clicky. So if I go to goals, for example, I have 2 goals here that I've set up. One is that they fill out one of our Start Mortgage landing pages, and the other one, I forget what it is. It's a list conversion. I got to remember what that is. And then I can see my campaigns. These are all the different campaigns I have running. There's not a lot for this site, and what the results are, what the percentages are for those things. So our mortgage bar that we put on partner sites, for example, that converts at 4.1% over the last 28 days. Lifetime, it converts at 6%, which actually isn't too bad. If somebody clicks off of that, they become a full-on lead. And I can see some of my other ads and conversions right here. Probably not the best example because there's not a lot of traffic there. The Wake Up Real Estate site, same thing. I can kind of see conversions, goals for a number of other things that are going on. One of the more exciting things, though, and the main reason I use Clicky is the spy feature right here. So if I click on spy, I can watch in real time what pages people are going to and then how long they spend on each page and how many actions they take. So this person right here has taken 21 actions on the site, and it tracks for me and shows me everything they've done. They went and checked out their down payment assistance page. And I can even actually reverse engineer who this is based on some of the stuff they're clicking because we tag some users and things like that. So where does this become more relevant for you guys? Well, you can install this on your real estate website. I did so this morning for Forever Florida Real Estate. Let me see if it's starting to track. I only did it about a half hour ago. So I can see here, for example, that somebody has visited Katrina's website, subdomain, and I can see the specific listing that they went to on the site. Like so. So kind of interesting, maybe not that exciting, but over time you start to see patterns for specific users, and if you know who the user is, which you can start to tag people, you see their IP in your system, you can kind of see what they're looking at and what they're doing. So again, it's not like groundbreaking stuff, but you start to get some intelligence on your site. You can also set up goals and set yourself up to be notified as people hit certain pages as well. So you can trigger actions and things like that. So say you have your sell page and you're running traffic at your sell page on your KV Core site, and you can say, hey, I want to see all the users. Go to content, filter results, and the page entrance /sell or something. And you can kind of gauge how long they're staying on the site, Are they bouncing? If you have a blog post, are they bouncing? If you subscribe to the more advanced accounts, the more advanced plans, you can see heat maps of what they've done on your site. So where are they clicking on the page? And if you have a landing page, for example, and nobody's clicking the button, or you see they're clicking up at the top right, it might help you spot a bug or something like that. So that's that. I just wanted to share Get Clicky with you. You can learn more about it, install it if you want. Installation is pretty simple. You just you click to add a new site, and then right after you add it, it'll take you to the tracking code for that site. Fine, go back to home here. I think you have to go to preferences, tracking code, and then you just take the little script, take my affiliate badge out of that. You take this little script and then you pop it into the body or footer or even header. I think all three work on your website right here. And then it just starts tracking your visitors, users. So Get Clicky is my plug for today. Play with it, try it out. I'll probably show you after another couple of days of data populate for Forever Florida Real Estate. I didn't have this on my main real estate website. I regret not having there to show you guys, but in a few days or maybe by next week, I'll be able to really show you some of the things, how we can interpret the data and how we might use it. So question from Larry, is there a feature to acquire contact info from visitors on your site? Oh, I like this question because it lets me plug one of our main sponsors. So there are a number of services out there that will look at who's visiting. Some of them are corporate based. There are things like, I'm forgetting the one that completely forgetting. But my favorite one, the one that I would use, is Thanks.io actually has a feature that will let you find name, email, phone, and address of anonymous people visiting your website. And that's part of the visitor view feature in Thanks.io. Now know that, Larry, there's nothing out there that'll let you get 100% of the visitors. The way, for example, that the Thanks.io feature works is it cross matches the IP address and the location, a few different things together. We actually use 3 different data sources. And when we have a match on all the different data points and we're pretty sure, we're really confident that this is the person who we think it is, then we're able to add that person to a mailing list in Thanks. So if I come here, we'll just call this it's related. It's website analytics. So we'll call this in addition to our topic on analytics. But if I come into Thanks here, and sorry, without Josh, I'm scrambling a little, but I forgot to share my screen. If I create a mailing list, and then I click create retargeting list, and we'll call this retargeting demo. So you would call your mailing list whatever you want. Down at the bottom left, you can set a threshold because there is a fee to get the data, and all these services will charge you something. But we'll say, hey, I want to get a maximum of 100 addresses per month. I can block specific sites or show it on specific sites, and then I can click Get Embed Code. It is 20 cents a lookup. Here we go. 20 cents a record to get the name, email, phone. But then I would just pop this script on the website, and it'll start to find people for me. Now, what we do with this data, we can then zap it out as they're added to a Thanks mailing list. You can put it into your CRM. You can do whatever you want. For Thanks.io in particular, what we do is we automatically send postcards. So let me show you an actual campaign. I'm not sure it's on right now, but let's still show it to you. We had this running for a while for Delia. So here's an example of what you might do. This card was triggered. Thanks for recently visiting foreverflowerrealestate.com. Text value report to this number to quickly find out what your home might sell for. So this is somebody visiting the website. We don't know anything about them. Visitor view finds their address, their name, their phone, whatever, and it pushes it into the system. We automatically trigger a card. And again, you could have sent them automations from your CRM if you tie it together with that. Bill, yeah, sorry, I can see you creeping. I see you on the site. That's you. You're right. I saw the B's and the B's, so that must be you. But yeah, it's kind of cool, right? You can actually take specific people by their IP. let me see, let me go back to you. And you can give them a name. So where are you? I think you're BB right here. And I gotta remember how to do this, but I can tag this user. Uh-oh, I've done this before. I mostly do it for us when we're using it, but this user, visitors, there's a place you go, and I would have to read their docs, but I can basically put Bill Boyden there next to your name, and you can watch what people do on the site. So you see here, actually, you can see Mark, find Larry. Larry's might be watching, right? It automatically is doing that because they have accounts with us. Greg Unthank is right there. Mike Smith is right here. Those are their usernames on the site, and it's kind of syncing up with a WordPress plugin and saying who this person was. And then I can go and see everything that this person has done on my site. So Larry has looked at this document, this Google Doc. He's visited these blog posts. It's interesting, right? Now, your CRM, your real estate CRM, they might show you some of this data, but there's some stuff they might be showing you in a similar way. So it can be a cool thing to use in conjunction with. And where it gets really interesting, I'm going to go on a little bit of a geek tangent here, is you can send somebody a specific link, and then you can add parameters to the end. And you can see me doing it on the browser, but I can do UTM_campaign equals Mike Smith, right? Or something like that. And then the system has the ability, I did my parameter wrong, it needs an and, not a question mark. Now, this URL will show up in the system, in the SPY. So let's go back there. We are getting a little geeky here today. This is not something you guys all need to run and do. We like to, on Tech Tip Thursday, we just like to share stuff. So you don't have to do it, but I can create a campaign rule. And it hasn't tracked it yet. But anytime you use a UTM parameter, if you read the docs here for you geeks, basically anytime you add a parameter, it'll dynamically, automatically create a campaign for you. And then you can set goals and say, hey, if this person comes, then mark them as a goal, if you really want to see what people are doing on your site. So it's kind of tough for me to go down the rabbit hole and show the nitty-gritty live. But in the spirit of Tech Tip Thursday, just want to share with you guys this stuff is out there. It's an option. A lot of the things I'm showing you with Clicky, you can do with Google, so you don't have to spend additional money. You can figure out how to set goals and campaigns. You can trigger at one point. What I liked about Clicky was you could actually link it up to like Olark, and Olark you could proactively chat with people. Let me see if Olark and Clicky. Another analytics platform that'll let you do this natively is stuff like Intercom and GetGist, which I have talked about on the show, and we stopped talking about just because integrating it is tricky with a KV Core and a lot of platforms. But just for example, you can pop specific chats as people take specific actions on your site. So if you want to layer on proactive chat and bots as people do specific things that with a little more advanced functionality than Clicky has, Gist is something you can look at. A lot more expensive, Gist. They have a free account, but it is a good deal more expensive. But if you have a lot of traffic on your site, then Gist is something to look at. You could say, hey, anytime somebody looks at my sell page, live web chat them this and ask them for their address and offer to send a more detailed report, things like that. So, so just to recap, yes, there are other options versus Google for your analytics. There are ways to spy on your visitors and get their contact info. Thanks.io has that functionality. I think it's Get Emails. Is that product? Ernest, do you remember Get Emails maybe? Email.io. There's another one similar to Thanks' functionality that might do a little more or a little less. There are a number of products like Clearbit that are based for more corporate uses. Find email and phone of anonymous visitors. Yes, getemail.io. I don't think that's the one I was looking for, though. There's lots of these things. Capture website visitors, email address, visitor insights. So yeah, and I think, one of the most common questions I see in my travels as like a real estate tech marketing guy is I am getting seller leads and I'm only getting the address, right? You hear that constantly. Like that's a big frustration because people will fill out the address to get a home value report, but they won't finish the process. I do think that a product like what Thanks does or any of these other ones out there could be useful. You know, the address comes, it's basically doing a skip trace for you automatically versus you going to People Finder or one of those other sites and trying to find that person. And that might be worth 10, 20 cents to do that lookup. It's not 100%, but definitely worth doing. I don't know, does Spokio do this? Spokio, find anonymous website visitors. See, if I were Spokio, what these guys should be doing is giving away their product free. Spokio, if you're watching, you should be giving your product away for free, the main thing that you charge people for now, but then selling the anonymous visitor find. That's what you got to do. But yeah, something that did that, like what Spokio does and gives you the contact info in a really good way, would be useful to you guys. And Thanks.io happens to have that. And there are lots of other products out there. Okay, 11:23. I just rambled for 23 minutes. Great. I feel like I can be done now. Does anybody have any questions, comments on this? Anything you'd like to see Josh and I talk about maybe tomorrow for Follow-Up Friday? You might get him solo. It's my wife's birthday. Maybe since he ditched today, maybe I'll just make him do the show alone tomorrow. It's Michelle's birthday, so maybe we'll do that. But if there's anything you guys would like to see, anything you need help with, of course, you can see above there. We're putting our little ads there. Definitely check out Just Listed, JustSold.com. That is the Thanks.io's Just Sold for Just Sold product. It works really cool. It's easy to send cards. Find your listings, does some cool stuff. Also, there is a mortgage team behind all this, as you're probably well aware at this point, if you've watched this far. But if you do need our mortgage team to help you convert your leads, that is possible. I would just schedule a josh15.com for that. Just to schedule a meeting with Josh, josh15.com, if you'd like for our mortgage team to help convert more of your leads by helping to work your database from the mortgage side of things. And other than that, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you to those of you who have commented. Thanks, Soledad. I'll pass on the happy birthday. And that's it. See you guys soon. Thanks again for watching and for supporting the Wake Up Real Estate Show. Have a good one.